inside them, so in theory they have the soul of the children inside of those ones.
Because baby watched on with glowing, curious eyes.
Did the corpses ever get removed? I mean, I would assume not, because if the corpses got removed, that would in turn act as evidence against him, so he would have been arrested. So the corpses still have to be in there.
That somehow felt alive. Not knowing what else to do, William melted the robotic parts down. 5 animatronic endoskeletons reduced down to one silvery puddle of goo. Did he transfer this living metal to his own creations? He had to try. He picked up a syringe and filled it with the molten metal and injected the goo into Funtime Freddy's twisted, wiry endoskeleton. And suddenly, coils came to life. Like snakes writhing in a pile, what had once been cold, lifeless metal moved and jolted on its own. He'd done it! He had unlocked the secret to life itself. Except something was clearly wrong. The movement...
This is like Full Metal Alchemist. You need to sacrifice in order to gain, right? You have to get rid of in order to get. So he's like, I found out how to make life! You just need to kill kids! Everybody believe me! How are you gonna report this to everyone else? What are you gonna say? Like, listen, guys, I know how to make robots come to life. Like, really come to life. I'm like, oh man, how do you do it? They're like, yeah, well, come on say, secret actually, my special sauce.
And so were erratic. They were violent, angry. Baby didn't act this way. She had been calm, reflective. This was clearly something else, something mindless, frantic. Perhaps by mixing the souls and then portioning them out, it created incomplete pieces. He would need to keep testing to truly understand it.
Oh yeah, it's like the Chimera all over again.
As he searched the old pizzeria one more time for any remaining scraps of metal, ghosts. His past victims come to collect their due, all led by Cassidy. The 5...
Bro, how does a ghost attack? It's just gonna float there and be all angry. So what's it gonna do, punch you? What are you gonna lose to a 5-year-old ghost child? What are you gonna do to you? Just kick them. Oh, you can't kick them. They're ethereal. They can't do anything to you. Just ignore them. Bro, just close your eyes.
Lined up and blocked the door. Captain's mind. The scientific implications of this were incredible. Ghosts. Real ghosts that you could see all standing against him. But what could it do? What could they do? And exactly. Cassidy approached. How do you stop something that's already...
Okay, to play devil's advocate, to be fair, yes, I would also be scared if ghosts were just real, and I also killed the kids and they were staring at me. That situation would be quite traumatic and very scary because you don't know where they can be. But at the same time, they're like 5 years old, it's fine.
Maybe with the thing that resulted in their death in the first place, he would get into his suit like old times. He would regain his power over them just like the day that they died.
That does make sense. Okay, ghost here, uh-oh, kinda scary, a solution, I'll do the same thing I did when I killed them, because I had power over them then. I'll get back in the suit, that's how I kill the kids, boom, bam, that's a sick idea. I love that idea, you're doing super good for yourself right now, let's see how it goes.
He was the genius, he was the one in the suit, he was
That's right, yep.
The spring lock snapped into place. Maybe it was the frantic movements, maybe it was the leaky abandoned restaurant, maybe it was just fate coming to collect its due. He didn't know. The only thing he did know was that his brain was suddenly filled with searing white-hot pain as hundreds of metallic pins and gears stabbed into his body from all sides. All he could do was collapse, blood slowly oozing out of the suit and pooling onto the floor around him. It couldn't end like this.
He would have gotten away with it too, wasn't the meddling kids.
Wouldn't end like this. His work was unfinished. Unable to move, his only option was to survive. Live. Keep living. It took days lying in his own blood, but eventually someone found him. A security guard gave a normal report. When he saw the animatronics torn apart in the middle of the party room floor, it caused him to file an immediate report of a break-in. An owner would have to come in and claim the damage, and who else would it be other than Henry? Hope jumped in Afton's heart. Henry would see him. They were partners, after all. He would be the one to help save him, to get him out of this suit, to relieve him from this tremendous pain.
Why would he do that? Bro, you're dead anyway. This is 1980s America, buddy. You got health insurance, you are in for a big-ass bill. Your restaurant got shut down, you got no income, son. It's over.
He entered the same room. His eyes fell on Afton sitting there in the pool of red, and Henry, saying nothing, turned and walked.
This is just to inform all employees that due to budget restrictions, previously mentioned safe rooms are being sealed at most locations.
Due to budget restrictions, what, do you not have a month to power the door? I know, it's because he wants to kill off Afton, that's fine.
Management also requests that this room not be mentioned to family, friends, or insurance representatives.
So there Afton would sit, hanging on to his 30 years, trapped behind the walls, right still.
Ed, did you not eat lunch? Was someone I think it's part of not officially in the area yet, but it's just like a really stopping point. So has gone on forever.
Okay, so most of this is
Fazbear's Pizza for 30 years?
Things that already did, stuff that's been established and re-established time and time again by games that said
Or, alternatively, he dies, his human body ceases to require what it needs, and he is revitalized in the suit. I guess that makes sense.
things that I absolutely have to address. First and biggest, or more specifically, to be evident in game seems to suggest
He possessed the suit, yeah.
the crime.
That makes sense.
1983. The biggest clue to this is that the crime child saw something. Remember what you saw is the phrase that's repeated over and over again by psychic friend Fredbear, aka William Afton speaking through a walkie-talkie in the Fredbear plushie's stomach. Oh, what did he see? Well, I think we can tell based on how the nightmare animatronics are visualized. They have mouths in their stomachs, just like babies ripping in half at the waist to swallow a kid. There's also the empty girl's room, one presumably left behind by a dead sister. And lastly, it explains.
Wait, so they... Oh, he's trying to say that that happened before 1983 when he was killed?
Why he's scared, and more specifically, why Afton wants him scared. He needs his kids to stay away from the animatronics. He doesn't want them getting too close, because the last time one of his kids got too close to a robot, his daughter died. That's then why he sets up the nightmares.
But then that wouldn't make her the one that listened, like he said before. Because if she was the one that listened and stayed away from the animatronics, then she wouldn't have been... That can't be right.
But away from the animatronics from that point. That's why books like the Character Encyclopedia outright suggest that we play with the Brian Child in FNAF 4. That's why he has a nanny cam following the Brian Child everywhere, so he can keep tabs on his kids when they're out of his sight. He can't let another Elizabeth situation happen. The death of Elizabeth also gives William Afton extra motivation for killing. He's a grieving father. His daughter was taken away.
No, the baby can't predate the first Five Nights at Freddy's because the technology used for those animatronics is so much more advanced than the ones used for the other ones.
So Charlie should die as well. He's lashing out at the world after losing his kids. And again, we know that at least one of his children had to have died prior to Charlie's death, based on the mound of dirt that we see in Midnight Motorist. It also allows circus babies to open and close earlier in the timeline, which is how you wind up with Funtime Foxy appearing as Mangle in the FNAF 2 location. Basically, Elizabeth dying first has everything it needs to fit, except for the most important thing, the murder weapon. Why would Afton be building an animatronic with a giant claw in its stomach so early in the timeline?
Yeah, why would he be making the kids kill an animatronic before he has any reason to even try and kill kids?
It just doesn't make sense prior to 1983. At this point in the story, he hasn't killed anyone. And we know for a fact that the missing children's incident is 19.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna kill kids, you're gonna be a little bit deranged before the act anyway. You know how they say the serial killers always kill animals? Maybe he was using it to kill dogs. He's like, oh, I'm gonna use this animatronic to scoop up some dogs, and I'm gonna mangle them all up and serve it to my kids because I'm a weirdo.
Fine. So Elizabeth's death coming before any of those events just doesn't work. Hence why I placed it where I did.
It doesn't make sense.
Here is also a bit tricky. We know that he returned to the FNAF 1 location to break down the original animatronic in order to harvest their revenue. We know that he held down of one thing, and that makes that very clear. So the 5 things are the 5 endoskeletons from the various animatronics. That would be totally fine if it weren't for one huge problem. On his 5th visit to the pizzeria, Afton gets spring locked. So either the 5 becoming 1 starts in 1993, but then finishes 30 years later when he re-emerges from the wall to add the last endoskeleton to his pile, or...
Could you imagine if it just chills there for 30 years? And he's like, I can finally get up again, Jesus Christ. Alright, where's that last dead kid at?
He's had himself some
Been waiting to do this for so long.
After harvesting all the stuff that he can. It's not ideal, but it's one angle that makes most sense. And with that, this next chapter comes to a close, thereby leaving us with 5 more games to cover and another 40 plus years of Fazbear history to read.
There's only 4 years.
Put it that way, something tells me that this might only be 4 parts. Anyway, until then, my Fazheads, congratulations! You've made it through a massive upload.
And then we have the ultimate timeline burn the wall video. Oh boy. Okay, here's what I've learned so far. The adults in this universe are completely useless, completely insane. The kids are just magnets to death. They're so eager to get killed. They're like, they're absolute idiots. But then in case in real life we're idiots as well. And this purple guy's, I don't know, I don't like him. I think he's a bit of a bad guy, to be honest. So, here we go. It's time to burn them all. Page 20.
William Afton's rise as a serial killer, while the loss of his young son in 1983 caused him to make one painful promise that would ultimately serve
his driving force for decades was, I love killing kids, it's awesome, and I have lots of fun doing it. That seems like more of his driving force, because he wasn't really focused on the whole living metal, putting the souls into animatronics, until after he had a really good time slaughtering kids left and right.
Fueled by grief and obsession, Afton would lose himself in work and race. One night in a fit of rage, he lashes out against Henry's young daughter, Charlie, first murder. This moment becomes the first domino to fall in a long sequence of events that ultimately destroys William's life and the lives of those around him. That one murder gives Afton a taste for blood, resulting in the deaths of 10 more children across 2 different pizzerias. Those children go on to possess animatronics, giving Afton his first exposure to Remnant and the potential solution for bringing his son back to life. With the need to learn more about this threat,
Yeah, but him after he kills 10 kids, by the way. So the whole killing 10 kids, that was just for funsies.
it's the fun time animatronics, as well as their captors. These robots designed to bring kids to him for experimentation and collection of more Remnant. Except there was one thing that he didn't account for.
Oh, 11 kids, that's right.
Curiosity. He made the robots too appealing, and it would cost him a living. Now with 2 children to put back together, Afton was more desperate.
There's no way that he is shocked that the animatronics specifically created and curated to attract and murder kids, attracted and subsequently murdered his kid. You're not gonna surprise Pikachu face me on this one.
Returning to defunct pizzerias to steal the possessed metal still living inside their walls. What he didn't account for, though, was forcing behavior. The last we left with William.
I feel like that's a pretty normal thing to not account for. Generally, I wouldn't account for the ghosts in anything that I do in general life, and even if I did murders, which I've never done murders before, I haven't, I probably wouldn't account for the ghosts in that situation either.
It was spring locked, leading to death behind a secret wall. Gone, but certainly not forgotten. Today we're finishing up chapter 2 of our story, wrapping up the other main character of the franchise, a young boy dealing with the fallout of a stupid childhood decision and tragic consequences. A young man whose life is best described as collateral damage.
That's what it looks like now? Dude, you got a big nose.
Radius of William's whirlwind of destruction. Now, before we begin, let me just rip off the band-aid now. We won't be finishing the timeline today.
I know. But we will be finishing in this video that I'm recording for my channel, because I'm gonna upload it once all of the videos are out, so we can do all the reaction in one video.
But covering FNAF VR, AR, and security footage wound up taking me an additional 9 pages of script. And I've already been waiting long enough for this part, so I just had to make the executive call to break this one up into 2. Don't worry, that part is already written. It is already recorded. It is just in the process of being edited. It is a hefty episode. So mark it on your calendar. That was actually going to be going live on March 25th. It's always interesting with a live talk back where we go back over everything from the past couple episodes, as well as having ourselves some very special guests. So,
Freddy Fazbear's gonna be on the stream! Oh, let's go! Let's go!
Conclusions we've reached that solve security breach, they are controversial. I feel good about them. Like, I think that we've locked in on a lot of the answers here. Ta-da! They're gonna raise a lot of discussion. Let's just say that you're either gonna love that episode or hate it. I don't really.
I like how he's priming everyone for Reddit threads about
Pat was wrong about this theory. Here's why.
and it's a 7,000 paragraph essay that I don't care about reading.
Nothing further ado, let's go to a chunk of timeline that's a lot less controversial. Far from it, but as a household suffering and loss, there was at least some element of communication between the two of them. They were united by a name and a shared pain. This time, though, things felt different. William had left nothing. His absence was longer. There were no check-ins, no updates, just silence. Something had happened. If there was one thing Michael knew about his father, it was that he had contingency.
How long exactly had he been disappeared at this point? Because I understand he's been spring-locked by now, so he's just bleeding out in some restaurant somewhere.
Careful and guarded man held his cards close to his chest. As such, William had prepared him in the event that
bolder, man.
this ever happened. Normally, his father kept his home office locked, but in the event of an unexpected, prolonged absence, Michael had been instructed to enter his father's office and look behind an empty set of shelves mounted in the corner of the room. Rolling his eyes like
There's dead kids there.
I never fully understood how William was able to spend so many hours of his days locked up in here. It was just nothing.
As a YouTuber, I can fully understand why someone would be able to spend hours of their days murders, the increase in energy bills.
The murders.
Oh, they live in Utah. That's right, never mind.
Where was here this circus being?
Why the fuck would you move to Utah from the UK? Like, I'm not trying to say the UK is awesome, but if you're gonna move to America, Utah.
The circus theater restaurant always did seem to be a deeply personal project. On failure of this, they cut the music. Especially after that first week, had to be closed. That day, Father was clearly the entrance he had found was some trip back way. One that required his father had been working here, but why? That's when he found her. At the end of the facility, circus. His father's
Uh-oh, here it is.
Something was different.
It's your sister.
The way she talked, the stories she told. This wasn't just a robot. She was alive.
It's an M&S
Not
robot.
only was she alive,
Oh, come on, now. It's an innocent child these they're talking about. I don't think the kid's done anything wrong. Maybe kick the dog once.
was this his sister? William's baby girl? But how? Why? What was this place? He dug around some old outlining the pictures of these animatronics, storage containers, voice mimicking, parental tracking. It was the child.
Why would you just type in, like, child murderer, head slicer device, kidnapping machine?
It was his father collecting and experimenting on kids. Were all the rumors that he'd heard from his past actually true?
This is really well animated. They did a really good job on these videos.
They were
So well edited.
Rhea said his father had somehow been the prime suspect in all of it. Suddenly, Michael's mind flashed back to his persistent nightmares throughout his childhood. And he'd been experimented on too. Tears stung in his eyes as anger, fear, and confusion filled his mind.
Yeah, get him.
Father's secrets were pouring out.
Get him, Michael.
He wasn't just a lame, overworked father. He was a monster. Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
Suddenly, everything clicked. He frantically looked around the room, blinking human heads on poles staring back at him. Green eyes, his sister. Blue eyes, his brother. Closed eyes, his mom. All just staring, expectantly. Meant to be human. William was working down here trying to make believable humans. Literally rebuilding the family that they had both lost. The small little girl robots with their British accents roaming the hallways of this underground facility suddenly took on a whole new context.
Hello there.
No. Different guy. Actually, no, Steve, I came from California. Surfer. I work for minimum wage at a nearby In-N-Out. Never met you before.
A clone? Was William building clones of his sister? They needed no him, after all, to react to his presence.
They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then they thought I was here.
He always did have a bit of a resemblance to his father. Michael's mind reeled into reality. No, he hadn't been out there. If this really was his sister, heck, if any of these things were human, souls, whatever remnant of the human
Får scoopa scoops.
Make him root to the endoskeleton. You still need something to function. It would be alive. It couldn't have killed him, so it didn't scoop out the heart, it didn't scoop out the brain. It just scooped out what his stomach and his intestines. It just shoved the wires and spirits in there. Michael is possessing his own skin sack. Ooh, that's awesome. Did they stitch him back together again? I think he's gonna be a post.
Flesh and sag this color. He was a
Yep.
walking, talking, rotting corpse.
Oh,
Alive,
cool.
wishing he wasn't. He was a puppet, walking shell. And while he did his best to conceal his face,
Everyone's looking at him like, oh, that boy ain't right. You seen that Michael recently? He looks a bit ill.
man filled with spaghetti would do. The entity in his innards would eventually leave, but by that point, damage had been done. His decaying flesh was stank, turning it into a little. Even with rotting purple flesh and begging to die, Michael continued to live.
Oh, he's still alive because he has the soul that he put into a skin sack instead of an animatronic suit, which means he still must have some kind of animatronics in him because he wouldn't be able to function his limbs without it. Oh god, it's just wires with skin layered on top of it, of a body that he once had. Oh, that's so gross.
Injected by the super meant that he couldn't die. His anger also couldn't die. What he had seen down there in his sister's location had rocked him to his core. His father had killed him after dozens. His experiments had killed his sister and then tortured him throughout all his childhood. He was actively trying to build human replicants. He didn't know where his father was, but Michael knew that he was out there somewhere.
No, it makes sense that he sounds like that. That kind of shit would age you like 50 years in a night.
Michael had to record the sins of his father. He had to make things right. Michael would burn Fazbear Entertainment to the ground.
It is crazy that there's a Fazbear Entertainment at this point. There's no way there should be one.
Michael's strategy was that way no one ever had to see him or smell him during the shift. And all these old shuttered locations didn't need guards. Teenage vandals and squatters were always looking to get inside these abandoned buildings, and yet no one ever really wanted to work an overnight graveyard shift unless they were practically out of options. Enter one by one, he would take on the job.
Oh, this is when Five Nights at Freddy's 3 happens.
I'm sure that no one was able to follow the trail. Once he
Great.
figure out how they work,
När jag och Chasse körde Ark idag, jag tror det kraschade 7 gånger.
Oj.
Det dumma med Ark, den har ju autosave. Jag tror den är inställd på att spara en gång i halvtimmen. Den har inget manuellt sparande, utan du måste gå in och göra en fuskkod för att spara spelet. Så jag har alltid fusk-cheat modulgrej som är saken redo för det. Man måste göra en fuskkod för att ta fram fuskkodsgrejen och sen gör man fuskkod. Men en sak med Ark i alla fall, du kan fuska fram alla troféer. Fusk stänger inte av trophies. Man bara wow. Fast det är ändå bra för att de inte fixar sina buggar som gör att man inte kan spela spelet. Så det är rättvist. Man tittar på mig, jag har platina på Ark, men jag har inte gjort det som krävs för att få platina.
Det är din enda unlegit platina.
Ja. Ja, men det är för krävande, särskilt när det är så många buggar. Och då blir man bara trött på det. Sen var det vissa trophies överlag var buggade så att du kunde basically typ inte göra dem. Det ska komma en ny Ark-varelse. Och hur du tämjer den, det är att du måste döda hanen, äta hans gojs, och sen ska du hitta en hona som gör dig gravid. Det är typ den planterar en alien i dig och den där gojset då tror hanen behövs för att det ska bli någonting. Annars är det bara ägg.
The final chapter in his family affair. Like a 5-minute job. Easy hit. Years of doing this taught him that security guards rarely security check.
Looks human! Dude, he doesn't even pass the looks human check! Look at this thing! He doesn't even pass that check! How do you fail the looks human check? I thought it was a costume! Yeah, when I apply for jobs, I always walk in costumes. To be fair, I have never actually had a job interview before because all I've done is be a dumb YouTuber all of my working life. So, I don't know. Maybe is that something you do generally when you interview for a new job? You walk in a Halloween costume because you want to match the vibe?
Hey, glad you came back for another night. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time.
For weeks, there was nothing, but just as like
Everyone in here is brain dead. This universe is so...
You're not gonna believe this. We found one. A real one.
this finally began. Sure enough, there he was. William decided to now, there they were, small family Now, all the animatronics we encountered over the past months, hopping from pizzeria to pizzeria, suddenly sprang to life. Their burned faces tried to track his father on the camera. It would seem that William's near presence spirits on high alert. Ultimately, they were far more annoying than anything else. But there was one that felt different to me, one that was more than just mere family. The security. He looked at the camera at just the right moment. The security pulled out.
Also, if you're going there, you confront your dad finally, at least take an axe. A shotgun, ideally, an axe. You hack that thing to pieces. You don't have to sit there all night and be like, uh-oh, shift's over, time to go home, take an axe. Take 2 axes.
Two wheels. Or power tactics. Seemed like he wasn't the only one there on the mission. Well, he was feeling a spring trap like he was thinking that this one was the healing of spirits. Finally set up his weapon so he have their neighbor all in that moment, he felt the air around him. Like pressure being let off. He had the sense that his struggle was hard. He rigged the wiring inside the building to expire. Right destined walls erupted into flames. It is... Except, it was...
No, I mean, Springtrack's gotta be dead at this point. He's totally done so. Also, it's crazy that he's stuck around for 5 nights. He kind of went out, came back in, went out, came back in. Springtrap the whole time was just like, alright, see you tomorrow. See you later, goodbye. Alright, that's cool. Place gets set on fire. He's like, oh man, why'd you wait 5 nights to do that?
Somehow, through sheer force of will, have to remain. He had survived.
Oh, come on. See, that's what I told you to take an axe for. Dual wheels, double tap. Then you'll know that you won. Just setting the house on fire? Listen, if a death is not confirmed on screen, it didn't happen. If someone dies off screen, they're not actually dead. Dual wield the axe.
Way of finishing off his father. Luckily, the solution would present itself later that year. Not from Mike, but from another victim that had been left in his father's will.
You're talking about becoming a Fazbear Entertainment franchisee. Restaurant
Oh, shit.
management. Something almost anyone can do with a limited degree of success. You are now the face of the newly rebranded Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Fazbear Entertainment as a brand
Me?
for years.
It was me.
The wall, the only person who legally could bring the franchise back was Henry, but he largely pulled out of the franchise around the time of his father's disappearance.
Don't act like we care about laws now.
Something was up. Surely this had to be some kind of a trade. Mike, dude went into best, applied for a franchise, immediately got a job. There was just one thing out of the
Don't you have to pay a ton of money to buy a franchise? Even if it was like an old, defunct franchise with all the kid murdering in the back, I'm just gonna keep that for free.
paragraph.
If you are playing this tape, that means that not only have you been checking outside at the end of every shift, as you were instructed to do, but also that you have found something that meets the criteria of your special obligations under paragraph 4.
No, wait,
Special obligation under paragraph 4. If you, the employee, sees any dead kids, ghosts, or living metal animatronics, you will report it directly to not the police, but the
Is it?
matters to the police.
Okay.
contract the other side required him to keep a special lookout for moving animatronics outside the restaurant. Now he knew something. Henry was luring them all back. Rather than trying to go to them, like Mike had done for years, Henry was doing the opposite. He was putting them all under the same roof. He was finishing them off for good. Mike knew this wasn't meant to be a restaurant. It was meant to be a prison.
restaurant, why is there all these pizza ingredients here? He says while making dinner, a pepperoni pizza, I think today.
Finally end the madness. Took a few nights, but eventually it was there. Father, puppet, the robot, spaghetti, and the hopelessly devoted to serve the man that had once been. He had been instructed to seal the doors and leave, but while he locked everything down, implementing in the end, the remnant needed to be washed away.
Pause, that's Henry talking to Michael.
Han fattar det.
Va?
Att han fattar det.
Vadå?
Liksom att det där ska vara att Henry som pratar till Michael här i slutet på FNAF 6.
Oh my god, dude, what a speech! Is that from the game? That's crazy! And that's it, that's the end of Five Nights at Freddy's. And that's it. All the loose ends have been tied up, and that is the end of Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, come on, dude! Just please try the axes once. Come on.
Gör du? Dansar du eller? Fiser du eller? Ja, här ska du ha en karriär.
Yeah, that was such a good ending. Why is there more?
Mm.
Then they started without warning. Animatronic, new and old came and jump out and rip him limb from limb. The pain was immeasurable. Make it stop. Make it stop. William, for the first time, longed for death, an end to this torture. Just as it felt like he couldn't take it anymore. Everything was quiet. The world had been reset. Just a brief moment of quiet and the onslaught.
Purgatory?
Asshole focused on it. A waking nightmare that he couldn't escape from.
The only thing I could imagine this is after Springtrap gets like killed, in theory, his spirit gets put into the fieryest pit of hell, which is like a purgatory where he has to relive his mistakes over and over and over again for eternity. That's the only thing I can think this must be.
It was his own personal hell, but why? Why couldn't he just die? Then he saw them, a group of characters he never thought he'd see again.
Oh Christ, it's them again.
Started the mediocre. It had all started to go wrong with Nation. Once Henry had made Nav mixed in with their obnoxious southern trolls, William he was barely a whisper, but just pick out the words. He tried to release us, and I will let that happen. I will hold you here. I will keep you here, no matter how many times.
Det börnas.
That voice. He knew that voice.
Wait, whose voice is that? Wait, is that? I guess it could be any of the kids, really. Well, the last one? That was the Golden Freddy, the one that they should not have killed. It was the Golden Freddy, because apparently killing that one was too far.
He'd done a lot of awful things, but there was always the one that stood out. Not Charlie.
Why would this one stood out?
Not Susie. His first word. No, instead, the one that he had lost control. The one that he had broken beyond repair for no good reason other than because he could.
I would argue that all of the other murders were kind of like the same one. There wasn't anything different with this one.
Inside the golden bear that he purchased. Go back. Now they were trying to punish him, to make him suffer like he made them. It was almost like William and Cassidy's souls had been locked together, even by a collective rage and spite, each refusing to move on. Cassidy was so focused on
Han blir där.
Han blir där.
Så som jag har det nu i mitt rum när jag spelar och så.
Mm.
Det får plats ett glas. Sen måste jag verkligen gå ner med disken.
Oj.
Mm. Och jag vill ha det så att jag faktiskt inte låter det ligga och samla upp det.
Mm.
Okay, well, there's no people left apart from Henry that has anything to do with this. I can't imagine. Well, the mom's gone. I guess the mom's technically still alive. Henry's the only one I can think of that's still alive to this day.
But an important one is his perspectives, trying to tell his side of the story. And with FNAF VR, AR,
He's dead.
Breach having so much to explain, tip. That is locked. It is getting ready to go. Trust me, I want this thing to be over and done with as much as you. I am not.
Wait, why would Henry die in the fire? I thought Michael was the one that died. Why is Henry there? He shouldn't even be there in the first place. That doesn't make... Why was he just there?
Hey, I did want to talk about the big orbital element in the room, like quest for revenge. You might have noticed that I was vague about the dates, and there's good reason for that. I don't know him. There is no good way for me to...
Oh, he says I'm remaining as well? Oh, okay.
We know
He wanted to kill himself? Fair enough.
This is the character that we play as up until Ultimate Custom Night. Mike Schmidt, Frank Smith, security guard.
Seems like a bit of a silly maneuver to game end yourself without double tapping and making sure that everyone else is definitely dead. Because if you're just burning down a building, people have survived burning down buildings before, and Springtrap has survived burning down buildings before. Surely he would know that and want to double tap him with an axe, just to make sure that he's definitely dead before he game ends himself.
For FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 respectively, get fired for, quote, tampering with the animatronics and odor. So weird connection between the two of them, right? Now, look at the phantom animatronics that are haunting us in FNAF 3. They use models from both FNAF 1 and FNAF 2, meaning whoever is sitting in that security guard chair of Fazbear Price, they have to have seen both locations and their animatronics. That's not all. Their designs are firm. So weird details in the game, and it's something that the character in some of the video was really called attention to. Texture for these phantom animatronics. Why is that so unusual though? Fazbear Price is the first time in the franchise that we hear about anything burning down. From that point on in the story, it's like the character set fires left and right. But for the first two games, they never catches fire. The animatronics are just they burn, and why would our security guards see them as being someone has been going location to location, setting these places on fire? We know we're definitely putting just Henry? That's based on the style. And 4, there's an Easter egg where we can hear the room call from night 1 of FNAF, meaning that whoever's in that bedroom has heard the recording as a security guard. We also know that Mike has seen the nightmare animatronic.
Wait, whoever's in the bedroom has heard the recording as a security guard? That doesn't make sense. I thought the protagonist of that game was either it has to be either the crying child or Michael, but why oh my brain is melting. Explain it to me.
Well, there is solid evidence that connects to FNAFs 1 through 6. You'll also notice how the character is
It was Michael? So FNAF 1 happens where he's a security guard, and then FNAF 4 happens, which is the nightmares that he has. So yeah, the FNAF 4 is a dream sequence where he's trying to sleep, but he can't sleep because he keeps having nightmares about it.
In short, this gives us an incredibly compelling narrative, Mike as our protagonist, and William, his father, as our antagonist. Mike accidentally kills his father in Fredbear's mouth, which begins our story and sets William down his pathway to the Mike is then haunted by the William's past, quite across the rest of the game. In this location, he learns what his father's been up to and realizes what he has to do. Correct. After failing to finish the job in FNAF 3, he ultimately helps Henry end it all in FNAF 6. It is great. It is a complete narrative.
It is a good ending. So why the fuck is there more games?
Mike's quest can't really start to spin down sister locations, see baby, and down themselves. That's what he finds out about Ashton's secret life. It's also when he's gonna start to smell the walking, rotting corpse. And we know that he's not going down into the bunker until the funtime animatronics have been made, ready to be closed, and Ashton is out of the picture. That all should be
So FNAF 1 can't happen until all of that has already happened.
1993, after William is sealed behind.
So sister location has to happen before Five Nights at Freddy's 1.
Ashton has already dismantled the original animatronics in FNAF 3.
But he's already dismantled all the original animatronics, so Five Nights at Freddy's 1 it can't happen after that, after sister location. Ooh, that doesn't make sense.
How are those things getting burned if they're already deconstructed? But more importantly, we see FNAF 3 paychecks to date 1987. That is way earlier than I think it could be. To be fair, Rick Smith's big slip on Night 7 doesn't have dates. It's a bit weird to say that the first few nights are 1987, then employee number 3 is hired 9 years after the restaurant closes. Anyway, just wanted to call that out because I think it's a solid answer for it. And
I have a solid answer for it. There's one guy making these video games. He did not have a solid plan. Like, Oda does not have a solid plan for One Piece when he writes chapter 1 about how everything is going to be lined out in timing and how every event is going to occur. There was a game that did really well, and he was like, oh man, I kind of have to capitalize on it. So he made more games. He made a really extensive lore that people really got into, but ultimately, there's going to be errors in it, and that's just how humans work, and you're not going to find a climax solution for everything. But I will say, that whole active storyline, the It does have some errors in it, and it does have some mistakes, but that's fine, because humans make errors, humans make mistakes, but it's a cool story. So why the fuck are there more games? The time has come for the final game theory, a family rebuild. We've come far, and I understand a lot more than I did when I started. Thank you, Matt Pat, but the time has come for the end.
Today, we're bringing our story to a close by talking about the most complicated and controversial part of the timeline, the part that I've been dreading most of all, the end.
I've kind of been dreading this as well. I thought the bow was wrapped up pretty nicely with the other theories, and the timeline seemed to come to a nice logical conclusion, and for some reason now there is a 30-minute theory on stuff that really doesn't seem like it necessarily needs to be in the timeline, but I guess we'll find out.
Moment where we're finally forced to come to some definitive and difficult answers trying to explain what the heck we were watching in Security Breach. The last two episodes have been about death. The death of Aspen's family, the deaths of multiple children, the death of the franchise itself as Mike and Henry figuratively and literally burn it all down.
And it seems like a pretty nice way to wrap everything up. There's no loose ends, and maybe there is.
And the current end of this franchise is instead all about rebirth, the return of old characters in new forms, and the controversial rebirth of a franchise entering the next era of its story.
Oh, dude, Security Breach looks so weird. I don't understand this. I mean, from a gameplay perspective, it looked kind of okay. It looked pretty mediocre. The characters are like, alright. Did people generally like this? Or was it not liked? Because to me, from the outside, this looked pretty dumb. As someone who's not played a 5 Nights at Freddy's game all the way through.
This looks pretty dumb.
Have these live talk back after this episode. I know, I promised one, I was really excited about it, but I just couldn't make it work with my schedule and all the other guests' schedules.
That said, well, Matt, you literally work like 7 hours, 7 days a week. He works 8 days a week. He makes style theory videos, movie theory videos, game theory videos, build theory videos. As a YouTuber that also does YouTube, and then I understand that it's a lot to do, especially with the amount of work that goes into each video. Obviously, he has people helping him out, but still, it's a lot to do.
Plan on doing one over the coming weeks with special guests. Just make sure that you're subscribed and either have all notifications turned on, or you're just watching our community tab for the announcement as to when
You have 7 days a day.
Without further ado, we finally reached the end and a new beginning to our story.
Oh, here we go. Post-purple guy. There's more to come.
There is no need for you to return to work next week, as Fazbear Entertainment has no longer a corporate entity.
All assets registered. The company was outright dissolved. Even the memories of the wars that had happened there started to fade away in the public. People were thought to be dead, and Henry was gone. A whole generation of young Emily.
Well, William was dead, air quotes.
All of them collateral damage to the man.
Ja.
Shut up.
Min dinosaurie låter så när den ska bajsa.
Shut up.
Got in, got a slice of margarita, chilled out for a bit, and then went home. Unless they also poisoned every single person that ate a pizza there, which honestly I wouldn't be surprised at this point if they turned around and revealed that they'd killed tens of thousands of people and just no one even noticed. They just poisoned every single pizza that they created in the place.
Hey, your child support you sent me. I'm keeping the dynamite.
So funny.
Also set the house on fire.
Oh yeah, the lady.
She'd been there in the early days, back when things really were good. They had the perfect home, thriving business, the ideal family. But shortly after their youngest son died, things started to change. William had become distant and lost control of himself. She had watched him change from this irritatingly brilliant man that she had fallen in love with to a drunken monster struggling to hold himself together. And despite
Was he an alcoholic? Psychotic?
All I see is an empty room, no more joy and emptitude.
That is hard. Burn everything down. What's dead?
She tried to move forward, never wanting to hear the name Freddy Fazbear again. A time defined by mistakes and broken promises. But then, the paperwork started to arrive. As
Oh,
Fazbear
no.
Entertainment began to close.
Oh no, the true horror game is the paperwork you have to do on your taxes.
Her mail was flooded with notifications, requests, obligations. She had
skulle.
Looking at blueprints, cosplay, memos, felt old wounds reopened. The regrets of a happy family that had been torn away from her. William had always been brilliant. That's what had attracted her to him in the first place. But he'd also been too blinded by obsession, pride. He was too jealous, too petty, too unable to actually see a bigger picture.
But in his defense, he was still present. He didn't abandon his kids, the ones that went dead.
Holding the paperwork that contained
He did get them killed. That is true, but he didn't leave them dead.
heartbreaking.
But he didn't leave them.
This was her chance, and one thought resonated in her head. I will put them back together. I will put them all back together. She would be the one to
Is she the one that makes the security of each place?
rebuild the pieces of that shattered life, to reclaim the kids that Fazbear had stolen from her. Wow, looking at William's work now laid out before her.
Oh, she's insane.
Been on something, collecting robotic humanoids, digital conscience transference. The pieces were all in place. They were just scattered, fragmented. It was almost like there were too many ideas going in too many different directions. It was such an important idea that she reiterated that point to herself. There were too many ideas going in too many different directions. That said, there had to be a way to save it all. She just
I love it when he breaks the fourth wall and he comes in. You can tell he's a little bit fed up around this part, and this part's a little silly. He's just prepping the audience ahead of time. Yeah, this is kind of dumb. Get ready for this. It's about to get stupid. It's gonna get a little silly in here.
Wow. To rebuild her family, she would first need to rebuild the franchise that had stolen them away from her. Ownership of the characters, their licenses, the technology patents, and the Fazbear name, she converted the corporation back to an LLC, structure for smaller businesses that are usually family-owned.
I think I have an LLC.
From there, she would need
I think that's my YouTube channel is.
Remnant was key. Clearly, in the later years of his life, William had been using Circus Baby's entertainment rentals as a weekend farm, sending robots to kids' birthday parties in the hopes of nabbing bits of the stuff here and there. But clearly, it wasn't enough. He had, what, like 4, maybe 5 animatronics going out every week? No. It was a decent idea, but to get the remnant they required, they needed hundreds of
Tweaks.
gathering remnant from
Nee, nee, nee.
unsuspecting customers.
What? How is this
Yippo,
plan
yippo, yippo.
supposed to work? Gathering remnant? That means killing kids, right? How is that supposed to work?
That would require something William would never ask for. William had kept everything in-house. His obsession with control limited him. Clara, though, he wasn't nearly that precious. A plan like this required partners, people outside of Fazbear to do the heavy lifting. So she contacted
Is she gonna start killing kids now too?
DLC shipping solutions to help build replicas of all the original animatronics. And with field delivery apps being all the rage, why not the animatronic delivery service? Order one to celebrate your birthday, your Halloween party. How about a fourth and
We'll deliver the murderous animatronics straight to your home to kidnap your kids. All you have to do is book now and get a delivery.
We will include mediocre pizza though. My picnic will invite Liberty Chica and 4th of July Freddy on over. She would make sure that they made skins for every occasion. Chocolate bunnies for Easter, Shamrock Freddy's for St. Patrick's Day, Dia de los Muertos Chicas. And thus, the Fazbear Funtime Service was born.
Is this real? Multiplier?
You'll always have someone
Was it ridiculous? Absolutely. Was it a sellout? No doubt. It was exactly the sort of thing that William would have hated, but it needed to be done to get enough remnants. Normally, the novelty of ordering an animatronic wore off after like what, 1, maybe 2 times? But with new skins for new hulk,
The novelty of ordering from an animatronic wears off after one time. I'm gonna be honest, if I could order an animatronic and it comes to your house, I wouldn't do that. That's really creepy. But the novelty wouldn't wear off after one time. If I did see that, I'd be like, wow, that's really freaky. The 7th time. The 14th time. I don't think I'd ever get over it.
suddenly you had yourself an animatronic perfect for every occasion. It would keep people hooked. It would keep them ordering the latest and greatest that Fazbear Entertainment LLC had to offer. And all the while, turning the rest back to her. In a
Well, as we can see, the rampant greed is what brought us this far. The need for money, for expansion, for more and more. As we can see, the true enemy here.
These are strange circumstances that brought us together.
No one trusted the Fazbear name. The company's brand was
Yeah, I wonder why.
No one would want to hire animatronics for a restaurant franchise known for murdering children. Doesn't quite like the threat of death. So,
Actually, I would argue that it makes it far more exciting. If there's a threat of death, then it's gonna boost your adrenaline, isn't it?
by the way, these stories have come before. She needed to get back to infections.
måste habita. Hur kändes det att sluta äta ägg?
Nice.
Och vad åt du först igen direkt efter?
Most working on their magnum opus
Uh.
shit since Dollar General. So, you know,
Jag vet inte.
quite a picture, Steve. Willing to say, do anything for
Men Herbitor.
fell right in line, as expected, delivering stupid little things with dumb generic names like Mangles Quest, Balloon Boy, Adventure, 5 Nights at Freddy's, bad gameplay with even worse.
Men nu bara liksom
People were suddenly talking
köttbit och grönsaker.
things, searching for the hidden lore. They were actively
Tack.
making
Ingen ägg vid sidan av.
dead kids
Nej.
pizza rolls. Her husband's twisted history of serial murder.
So insane.
Mere Nancy Drew mystery to be solved. The plan for Freddy Fazbear's was
That's not too far away from like Netflix documentaries on serial killers, though, is it? That's kind of like taking lighter and making a profit off of it. And all these like true crime documentaries kind of do the same thing, don't they?
suddenly more popular than ever. Things were going shockingly well. Her takeover and reboot of the franchise was full and complete. Suddenly, in pure cash, she built the largest, most ambitious project yet. The Mega Pizza Pit. William had always been so visionary. He always
Have they ever actually served the pizza in any of these places? It's all based around pizza, pizza, pizza. I've never seen a pizza actually be ordered from any of these.
Another though, she knew that this was
Oh, I say.
the palace for children, a place that got people
Needed to have so much neon to blind you.
products. With a steady supply of revenue flowing in, it was finally time. The stage was set. It was time to get to her real goal, literally building a family.
I don't understand how you have a steady supply of remnant flowing in. Think the second a kid die, well, first off, how do you even open this in the first place? That's ridiculous. Why are kids still going? I'm still under the impression that every single adult is in on it, and every single adult in this universe actually thinks that killing kids is great and awesome, and they want to do it all the time. That's the only logical conclusion that I can come to, is that they just all want to kill kids. It's totally okay. 2035?
Right? What? One that was the first to effectively. She'd seen down in his bunker that William had gotten very close to replicating using animatronic technology. So that's exactly what she did. Still deployed, round up, robotic, shaggy brown hair, favorite striped shirt, even though
Is that an important part of this child's the band-aid? Would they probably only had it on for like 1 day?
making them virtually indistinguishable from a typical human. He would never have any idea of what the action was unless he was the only thing that
The main character of Security Breach is an animatronic. I feel like that's a big
or some sort of a core reboot to his hard drive, or X-ray his metallic bones, then yeah, he would be exposed. But otherwise, the outside world was just your typical normal people. He worked down in the bowels of the beast, like giving him life, but it was one thing to build it. Another to help him remember his identity. He died so young, so early in their history that there was no preserved memories, no documentation that you could just download into his digital brain. So bit by bit, they trained him, forcing him to remember. In a corner of the room, she even made a makeshift dinner table, a reminder of their happier days. The family, brothers, sisters, fathers.
Wait, why does Gregory look so much like a normal person, but this whole family does not look like a normal person? This is not going to train a kid to be like, oh yeah, no, I remember having a normal family. This is going to make them cry and piss themselves.
The one man, the one bringing all of this to fruition. But slower than he would have liked. At first,
Yeah, I wonder why.
well, ones and zeros, then rudimentary drawings, letters, but dumb. Images of his past life started to come through. Colors, houses, fairs, faces, birthday parties, all
Nah, I don't like this kid. If his favorite color is yellow, I don't like this kid. I'm sorry. Gregory's not my friend.
Gregory was alive. As the robot boy embraced her, she felt a warm
It was the robot overheating. Soon it would self-destruct and explode, taking them both out.
This was the joy that she'd been working towards. This was what it was all for. Her son, back in her arms again. The plan was working. Yet to keep going. Next was William. If the family was truly going to be put together, she would need him. And she
I would argue that you don't need William. Considering all that had happened, taking it all into consideration, I think we should come together. The council could maybe decide, we don't need that one. That's okay.
Where he was, the ruins of that old Freddy Fazbear's pizza place where Henry had trapped him. In fact, that's specifically why she insisted on building the pizza place there over the sinkhole. It's the best place to hide where Druid tables were with the entire operation. Digging through the wreckage, she found him. He was right where she thought he was.
Oh my god. He was looking better than the day they were married.
The rotting corpse of William Afton was disgusting.
Vadå?
Come on, now that's your husband you're talking about. You gotta big up your man.
A smell that burned carbon. He was no longer flesh. It was just the tangled skin of a creature that was once home. How far had this been? It was clear that her work was cut out for her. Afton was practically lifeless. The man may not have been able to die, but it was about as close as he could come.
Wait, he was still alive? Oh, that's dumb. I get because, like, the kid was so angry. She was like,
Säg eller?
die and put him to purgatory, that he shouldn't still be alive in the real world.
His body would deal with a lot of reconstruction. Replacement arms and endoskeleton reinforcements were the top priority. Pulled from their line of glam rock animatronics. You'd have to see if they had any spare body parts lying around that they could steal. In the meantime, though, she grew the husk that was once her husband into a light-supporting pod used with aerosolized remnant so he can stay. But more important than recovering his body,
Why? Why do you even need a life support pod if he can't even die anyway?
recovering his body. In his current state, he was comatose, an empty shell. Severe brain damage starts at temperatures over 108 degrees Fahrenheit, 42 degrees Celsius, and years of repeated fires had burned his brain to goo. Gone was the brilliant, frustrating mind that had drawn her to him in the first place. But she had a plan. Unlike her dark boy Gregory, Afton had found ways to avoid his time. Fundamentally, the plan was to be a series of electrical connections that so I couldn't replicate that in the form of a standard circuit. In essence, you could create a digital consciousness. One thing she knew about William was nothing if not flawless. A planner, someone who had backup plans to his backup plans. Sure enough, there it was, buried in piles of old animatronic CPUs, a record of Afton himself.
I don't believe that you had that planned ahead of time. There's no way. You're just gonna plug the CPU back into the animatronic and be like, oh, it's my husband, good as new. Wait, when did he make this record? This is very important. Did he make this record after the child murder or before? Because if he made it before, awesome, cool. Family husband, great. After, maybe you don't need that one.
Here comes Snurp.
Someone was definitely here.
A burp.
It had to have
Hi,
been.
Burr.
I mean, they sent us that stuff in the first place. No explanation. Told us to scan it. Said it would expedite the process. We wouldn't need to program it.
Unlike the other games that GPA has made in the past, this wasn't about VR. It was about getting William back on the front, spreading his virus.
What? Oh, it's still the VR game?
Silver Parasol games to scan the board and grab his husband into the system. And because of the immersive nature of VR, William's consciousness would be able to merge with the player, giving him a
Okay, makes sense.
new agency. There was just one
I don't know if that's how VR works, but
It wasn't as powerful as she had hoped. He wasn't able to gain complete control. The first trial run, Jeremy was so desperate to escape from his grasp that he sliced his own face off with a paper shredder.
what? Did they like screw in the VR headset with nails? Why would you need to do that?
Afton's followers were reluctant, to say the least, but it was their second attempt that looked like it had the potential to kill two birds with one stone. Enter Vanessa. Mrs. Afton wanted a surrogate daughter. Her darling Elizabeth would have been a young woman. Claire wanted someone who wasn't Elizabeth, but just could she have just rebuilt her like Gregory? Sure, but she decided against it because she wanted an actual human mother-daughter connection. Well, that would be ridiculous.
Whereas having a human mother-daughter or mother-son connection, that wasn't really necessary. The robot one, that's fine. You can go for a B-Tech version on this one. I don't really care that much.
Narratively unsatisfying to have two robot kids in the same family. What could she say? William had put a lot of tools on the table for her to use. She was planning on using them. Plus, Elizabeth had always been so loyal to her. It was time to give her a second chance. And Vanessa seemed to be the perfect candidate to fill the role.
Your dad's name was Bill. Your dad didn't play it fair, did he? He used to make your mum look bad. He manipulated you. I know your mum. After she lost, that's kids.
Daddy issues?
She started as a QA tester at Silver Parasol Games, a VR game development company that was part of her plan to bring back
manipulate. Best case scenario, they have daddy issues as well. We really want to make sure that they have no support system and they can be completely under our control.
She would do this. She would be the one to save dear old Daddy, just as the real Elizabeth would have wanted.
I will make you proud, Daddy.
While testing the VR game, William's digital consciousness merged with Vanessa. Oh sure, she fought, fragmenting Afton's code into a series of tapes hidden across the game, trying to do web searches to regain control over her life, but it wasn't enough. She was weaker than Jeremy. She was a thrall that, despite occasional moments of lucidity, had to obey. And with Vanessa, it was a 2-for-1 deal. She was getting a daughter back, while also bringing her husband one step closer to reactivation.
Then you have like a mother, or you have a father-daughter combo, which is really creepy and honestly not ideal.
Just had to make sure that Vanessa was headed the right way. The reborn Gregory was an expert hacker. Part of the benefits of being a captain and course. So Clara had to keep tabs on Vanessa, hacking into her emails and trailing her therapy sessions to ensure that future Elizabeth was falling in line. If any of the therapists started to ask too many questions, they were probably and while Gregory kept tabs on Vanessa's personal life, Mrs. Adams made sure to clear a path for protection. With silver parasols collapsed in the hands of the anomaly, she then had a possessed Vanessa bring the contaminated circuit boards to DLC shipping. In the Fazbear Funtime service, more glitches, more Remnant, more Afton. But it was her last move that was the best. In a true masterpiece of poetry, she brought Vanessa over to be chief security officer at the pizza place. A true family tradition to don the hat badge and all its
that's really messed up.
the top, as well as some emails marked for deletion. Sure, Vanessa didn't have relevant experience for the job, but when it comes directly from the CEO, does it really matter?
Oh, just put in a little bit of nepotism. I mean, it's not new. It's a time-honored tradition in the United States of America to do nepotism. You don't need experience. You just need connections. That's the most American thing I've seen all day. I love it.
Husband, son, daughter. Of course, a robot. Huge.
Wait, what about Michael?
Michael.
Oh, okay.
The boy that killed her youngest. The one that would spend years trying to make his guilty conscience right again. A self-professed protector. Well, she knew she needed him to complete the family. Something told her that the problem had already solved itself. Something had shifted, using Glamrock Freddy to excavate the buried pizza place.
I have been here before. I found myself for the first time when I cried.
Oh my god, is he already inside of that Freddy somehow?
I have changed. My friends are here, but I can protect you.
Oh no.
Maybe it was the remnant that had coursed through Michael's veins. Maybe it was the spirit of Michael living on as a protector. But he was there, somewhere inside of Glamrock Freddy. He could feel it. Just like that, she'd won. She'd done it. Sure, there were still some kinks to work out, some final brainwashing of Vanessa, some rehabilitation of William. But they were there, finally, all together again under one roof. The Aftons reunited.
Wow, and isn't this the picture of a wonderful family? Ooh, you got the white picket fence on this one, guys. Looking real good.
That's how it could have ended. That's how it should have ended. Had it not been for a few unanticipated developments. For one, something was just wrong with the pizza place. Almost as if the entire building was haunted. Puppet plushies hiding.
Really? Do you think that the place might be haunted when they're like literally harvesting, I guess, hundreds of kids now at this point for Remnant?
Places that they had no earthly way of belonging. Staff bots, greasy tears down their eyes, acting like they were being puppeteered by some sort of a nightmare. Even their sounds had the echo of nightmares long past. It was as though
sounds good, guys.
Spirit of the past refused to hold on. As long as her husband was around, it too was late. Only now, it wasn't just in one body, but was in the essence of the building itself. She had seen stories.
Just tear it down.
of
Set fire to it. It's fine.
Getting possessed by angry spirits, but she never assumed that it could be real. Then again, in a world of
why would you not assume that can be real when you live in a world where you know that you can put the souls of kids inside of metal Funtime Freddy Fazbear bots?
Pure metal and mind-controlling glitches. Who was she to be so judgmental? The whole thing was ridiculous. Why would this be the line that she refused to cross? After all, the pizza place was built over the burial ground of angry spirits. Like it was the
best place to build a pizza place.
Something was wrong. Suddenly, these cords were striped black and white, like the security puppet from generations ago. The very foundations of this place, the materials and wires that constituted it, were rebelling against her, against the Aftons, against the quest to bring them all together. And it was being helped by something else, something slithering through the building.
Oh, is it the girl that got really angry at Afton and wouldn't let him die because she also refused to die? So it would be the 50 Ultimate Custom Night little girl?
Connected, she couldn't be sure, but a blob of living wires could be heard oozing through the walls, feeling pieces and parts of old animatronics showcased in Rockstar Row. She could only assume that it was a byproduct of all the remnant they'd been collecting. From Afton's testing, she knew that both light and dark remnant existed, one of positive emotions and the other created from anguish, anger, agony. Perhaps this thing was an amalgamation of all the darkest parts of the pizzeria's history.
Oh, it's the final boss of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Housed inside these defunct endoskeletons and exosuits. As long as it was left alone, it seemed to be harmless. But if any
Oh yeah, no, that looks harmless, you're right.
Inside of Michael got too close, he would lash out wildly. Even young Gregory, looking to punish the family that had been complicit in his horrible creation. Little did she know, though, that Gregory had been her biggest issue, that bringing the family together would have some unforeseen consequences. Gregory was normally the good guy. She had literally built him that. But lately, he'd been disappearing more and more often.
That's no dog.
Requests. She knew that he loved playing the arcade machines once the pizza place was closed. So good at it.
Is that Plants vs. Zombies?
Practically all of them. But lately, he was nowhere to be found.
She suspected he's a gaming mastermind. He's gaming out of his mind. That kid could have grown up to be a Fortnite streamer. Can you imagine that?
Had to do with Glamrock Freddy's failed performance the other night. He malfunctioned live on stage, almost as though the core programming of Freddy responded to seeing this rebuilt small boy. Almost like it awakened something inside of him. You'd have to make sure that Vanessa was on the lookout for him. But she'd soon come to learn that Vanessa wasn't enough. Whether it was the influence of home...
Yeah, no wonder. Have you seen the size of this place? Of course you're gonna need more than one single security guard to cover like 7 square miles of footage of building.
Or reawakened hatred of animatronics seated deep in Gregory's code, something had caused him to rebel. To rip apart each animatronic in the Pizzaplex. Bit by bit, this boy was tearing down the empire that she'd so painstakingly built. Freeing Vanessa from her mind control, destroying the remains of Afton in the basement, setting Glamrock Freddy loose as her careful...
Can you even destroy the remains of Afton? I mean, they're pretty convinced that he just can't die.
World crumbled around her one more time. She began to plot her revenge. She would have to bring them all to ruin.
Bro, that is your son.
Friend,
You did it.
A decade in the making, my FNAF timeline for where the franchise is here in 2023. Year of massive rights.
What happens at the end of security breach?
It wouldn't be right for me to finish without going over some of the more controversial takes that I just handed out. I think we can all agree that this part of the timeline was always going to be the hardest. So
yeah, I agree.
Down some of the major points. First of all, the biggest swing of this episode, and obviously the one that everything else rests upon, Mrs. Afton being the CEO of Fazbear Entertainment LLC.
It's not inherited, is it?
Now, first and foremost, the head of Fazbear Entertainment is the single biggest mystery that we're meant to solve at this point in the lore. The Ultimate Guide brings it up repeatedly. Who's running the show? Who's okaying these decisions? And in the security breach memos, we get
she's the only one left.
Someone manipulating things from the top down. Whoever this is, they are
I guess it makes sense.
Forward every other facet of late-stage FNAF lore here. They're the puppet master who's hiring the indie dev.
Yeah, why she fails once, Gregory goes a little haywire, and she's like, oh, we gotta burn everything now.
One's relaunching the brand, building the Pizzaplex over the burial ground. So everything at the end of the timeline relies on this one singular answer. So as I see it, there are two possibilities here. One, an adult robot Elizabeth, like we see older versions of robot kids in the fourth closet, or Mrs. Afton. Could it be someone completely new to the franchise? Absolutely yes, but in a game with so many returning faces, it seems would be pretty random and arbitrary. So between these two girl bosses,
I guess that makes sense. I kinda dig it.
Her daddy, so she like. Then once Vanessa disappears, that's a parallel for Elizabeth. Say hairs and eyes.
I just can't understand the logical leap that this person, the mother, would take to be like, oh yeah, I want to bring Afton back. Even if she was crazy enough to try the kids, the husband, I don't know about that one.
His goal is getting the Afton family back together. Seems to clearly be the case in security breach, and there's no need for Vanessa to be involved at all. We already have Elizabeth running the show. It would also mean that we suddenly have 2 robot kids running around, which feels narratively repetitive and quite frankly dumb. Now look at Mrs. Afton. We know that.
Well, there's a lot of the lore in this franchise that you might think sounds kind of dumb.
You're right, there's nothing about her outside of any clues that we can get from Immortal and Restless and Dolores.
Just marry someone else. Just get another husband.
Is they
have more kids.
Other piece of the lore fit. Suddenly, you can have one of
honest, they really tried. They really tried their best.
Narratively, it makes everything else cleaner. Legally, it's also the option that makes the most sense. As I call out my narrative, she'd likely have some stake in the original company and all of its assets. So as Fazbear folds as a company, I suspect a lot of it would return back to her. But there was one clue that really sold me on this particular direction. That was this right here. In the post-it room, the big lore central of security breach, a dinner table.
God, that seems like it would take so much time to set up all those post-it notes.
Not only is she there, she is at the head of that table, the position of highest responsibility. She
yeah, no,
in charge, with William being relegated off to the side. That one
as he deserves.
Have to include Mom in there somewhere, and the only place it makes sense for her to be is at the top. Now,
at the head of the table.
With my interpretation of all this, the Ultimate Guide really seems to point out that the head of Fazbear doesn't want the glitch trap virus to spread. They call out one particular
because she only got the glitch trap back with the glitch trap virus. I assume that she only got that was the only reason she's even doing this to put her own family back together. So it's not necessarily that she's nefarious in the way that she wants it to spread down to people, right?
FNAF AR, where the legal team calls a cease and desist to all action about scanning the circuit boards. And even in FNAF VR, we're told that the circuit boards get stolen back by the client, presumably once they realize what danger is on there. Trying to stop glitch trap before he spreads and gets out of hand. Here's the problem with that though, if the head of Fazbear doesn't want Afton to rise again, why'd they restart the company in the first place? Why'd they build over the FNAF 6 pizzeria? Why'd they go through an elaborate cover-up to make possessed Vanessa an important part of the company? Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It would be the most inconsistent series of actions ever, but I did want to call attention to it since it seems to be the route that the official got.
This is the law series where kids just die in droves and no one seems to be bothered.
Hero stories. Moving on to minor point number one, the Five Nights at Freddy's games were made by the Rogue Indie developers. Here's the thing, FDR opens with this line.
That's why we have recreated many of these completely fictitious scenarios, lies that you've been fed over the last several years into a hilarious VR game.
It's recreating the lies told to you by the indie developer. And since Help Wanted has direct recreations of FNAFs 1 through 3, it means the games must be part of the fabrications that this developer made up. Also,
that means that the entire first 3 games are just lies? I don't know. Imagine when Manpai saw that the first time, everybody just broke down and cried.
So all of this is heavily implied in the story of the same name, Help Wanted from Tales from the Pizzaplex, hence FNAF 1 through 3 canon games within the lore of the series. Big swing number 2, the elephant, or ghost in the room, Charlie infecting the Pizzaplex. John from the channel FNAF has made some great findings about Charlie's influence over the Pizzaplex. The cables that look like the striped arms of the puppet, the nightmare-owned plushies that you find hidden across the Pizzaplex in weird places, the staff bots with creepy smiles and in your dreams written on the front. All of these things scream puppets. Plus, the puppet mask not having tears and blob seems to imply that Charlie's spirit exists elsewhere. She is still in play, and she has an important role, especially in Gregory's post-it room. The doors to the post-it room.
Charlie's one of the kids that got killed.
Inside, we see a bunch of lit-up nightmare staff bot heads.
Yeah, Charlie was the original Henry's daughter, the Henry that bought out Afton when the whole thing started. Charlie was the first kid that died, right?
Just to say the least. The channel ID Fantasy did a great theory looking at the post-it notes, concluding that the crying child / Gregory isn't alone in this room, but rather might be communicating with someone. A spirit, Charlie. Charlie's spirit seems to have pulled a poltergeist. Instead of controlling one thing, she's affecting the lives of foundational elements of the Pizzaplex. And this isn't the first time that we've seen this in the franchise either. We've seen spirits communicating with people lighting in survival longing. So we know that this is an established means of spirit communication within this franchise. And I suspect that to some extent it might be Charlie's influence making Gregory go haywire, which...
I'd be so pissed. If I was the first kid to get killed in this whole situation, you have to just bear witness to everything happening, and then you're still around at the end. You don't get your peace, you don't get to rest easy, you still have to hang around in this stupid pizzeria, watching kids run around and have fun and eat pizza every day, and then you just know that they're plotting to kill more kids. You just have to hang around and just watch it happen. I'd be so pissed if I was Charlie. Jesus Christ.
Then to my final and probably biggest controversy in recent FNAF history, Gregory as Patient 46, the evil robot mastermind. Now, I know when I first came out with this theory a year ago, it wasn't bad. Here's the thing, you don't have to take my evidence point for it anymore. The recent Tales from the Pizzaplex story, GGY, basically goes and just outright proves it. In GGY, we find out about a boy named Gregory who's getting all the high scores in the Pizzaplex arcade machines. When therapists start to go missing, it's confirmed that GGY is the one that's animatronics. That's such a weirdly specific...
Precis, kanske inte.
Nice.
Allt jag ska göra nu är att
Vinna.
vet du, få escape ending och carb ending. Och jag ska bara gå till dörren. Sen är jag klar.
Va?
Jag ska bara gå till escape ending och bara gå till carb ending. Sen är jag klar. From all endings inbounds.
Mamma fyller år imorgon.
Jaså? Ska jag göra någonting då?
Tror inte det. Jag och pappa funderade på typ varm smörgåstårta. Fast små smörgåsar.
Ja, så jag inte det.
Men du gillar varm smörgåstårta här.
Ja.
Ja, det är kall du inte gillar. Du tog typ 3 portioner när du fick smaka våran varma smörgåstårta. Den är ju mer mat än tårta. Ja. Med så här köttfärs och lite sånt i.
The fact that they have to extend it because they want a little bit more moolah, a little bit more money, that kind of sucks. But I mean, you know, you can have some fun with it, and you're gonna get a ton of views on videos like this, and you're gonna get a ton of Reddit threads complaining about how you're wrong. But overall, I'd say this was pretty good. The big thumbs up. I love the game theory.
Det var en lång video.
Huh?
Det var en lång video nu.
It's a game series that you invest a lot of stuff into, a lot of time into, but really, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day,
Say live. Shaolin sub 30. No, sub 23 inbound.
Hur lärde du känna sig?
Va?
Hur lärde du känna sig?
Jag om män och pratade för mig om hans streams eller om hittar dem själv. Men,
så det börjar med som en tittare på en stream liksom.
Ja.
Och sen bara blir ni vänner och körde och sånt.
Tom Menno var den som frågade honom om han ville göra Swedens moss. Och det var han.
Och det var lulligt.
Så du behöver inte, du kan döda några. Han är så väldigt... Ja, om jag ska döda zombies så ska jag inte alls döda zombies. Eller om inte rundan ska sluta döda inga zombies. Men han behöver inte, han kan döda lite. Sådär, escape ending.
That's nice.
Ska vi gå ner till loading docks, sen är jag klar.
That's unfortunate. I gotta wait. Also, I had to thank you for the bet. I appreciate it. I gotta release that as well. Okay, let me go back.
Ja, de puttar av honom.
My number's
Yikes.
literally down here.
Clear. Vroom, vroom.
Vroom a vroom. The vroomy has a goomy vroom vroom.
Guys are ghetto. That's what I want. I will take that. Guys are. Okay. We got second skaters, so I can save time if things go right. I should have one zombie left. I should have one zombie left.
Mm-hmm.